Successful students, strong families, productive citizens, and a community that thrives. Why are you here today? Why are we here today? Our hope is that you'll be fluent in Thrive Carpinteria and informed and become an advocate for Thrive Carpinteria, that you can talk about it with people and explain it and encourage people to become involved in the effort. And of course, direct people to resources and opportunities that are available through Thrive. I have to push the button. I'd like to introduce the executive team, and if you'd all stand, Terry Hickey Banks, I'm not going to read their affiliation, Mary Beth Carty, Jeff Schanzer, David Durflinger, oh yeah, Maria Fisk, Sally Green, and Paul Wright. And we all got together and put this together today, and we've been working now for a number of years on the Thrive project. And they're all hard workers and very dedicated. I think at this point, Jeff, if you'd like to stand up and say a few words. Our superintendent. You're going to take the mic.
Good morning. Before I begin, I'd like to introduce our leaders in our community, and that would be our board of trustees, of which 3 of them were able to make it here today. And beginning, I'd like to introduce our president, Andy Schaefer. Terry Banks. And Jacqueline Fabre. And 2 of our board members, Allison Livet and Michelle Robertson, were unable to make it here today, but they're the leaders of our community and are elected officials. So thank you for coming today and sharing part of it. My name is Jeff Chancer, and I'm the interim superintendent in the school district, and I'm very proud as not only a community member, but as interim superintendent being able to serve the parents, the children, and the community of Carpinteria. Early childhood education is vital. It's extremely important to the success of the young people that we're working with, and to provide the services to them from the cradle to through high school and through college. So I'd like to thank you very much, and thank you for your support, and it's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. It is our tradition to have a song to start us out. I know it's a crazy tradition, but today we're going to do the hokey pokey, which means everyone has to stand. Sorry. Yeah. Now, I practiced last night, and shaking my right foot, and I almost fell down. So rather than right foot, why don't we do right hand? Makes it a little easier, okay? There's 2 verses, and in the second one, we're going to put our whole body in. So are we ready? Let's put your right hand in. Let's put your right hand out. Let's put your right hand in, and we shake it all about. We do the hokey pokey, and we turn ourselves around. That's what it's all about. All right, here we go. We put your whole self in. We put your whole self out. We put your whole self in, and we turn yourself about. We do the hokey pokey, and we turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Yay! It's our hope that you'll put your whole self into Thrive. So that's the connection, really. It's kind of a weird connection, but what we're looking for is that improved commitment to the Thrive project on the part of everyone who's here today. But let's talk about Thrive and what it may be and what it isn't. I'll first talk about what it isn't. It's not a service provider. We have lots of service providers in Carpinteria and in Santa Barbara area, and they're doing a fine job. We're not a school district program. a lot of the people here today are employees of the school district, and the school district does provide a serious part of what we're doing in Thrive. They do a lot of the heavy lifting, actually, in terms of educating the kids. But there's a lot more to it than that. So we're not really a school district project. But what we are, we're a community-led, data-informed lens on the cradle to career system. And I think more and more as I read through what we're talking about, it's not so much cradle to college, although that's very important and it's a big part of the system. It's more career. That's the end game. Giving kids reasonable, good careers, and hopefully so that they can stay in Carpinteria or go throughout the world and talk to everybody about Carpinteria and what a great place it was to grow up. And then, through collective impact, we are a stronger team than if we were doing this individually. And that's the whole point. We're bringing together all those providers and helping them become more efficient in what they do, and then taking a look to see if there's some gaps that in what we're providing to the community and what we need to fill in. I'll read some of this too. It's a community-led, data-informed, which means we do review the data, the numbers about how our kids are doing, and that's how we find out if we're doing a good job or not, or if we have to spend a little more effort in some areas. Unfortunately, the great data that we had in the past is gone, and Paul Cordero would be very happy to explain all of the numbers that of the past program and how well the school district is doing. But we do have a new system in the wings, and hopefully we'll be showing our ability to teach kids under the new system as well. So, cradle to career system. It's identify and advocate for data-informed programs that work. We actively work to find gaps in the cradle to career system so that we can fill those gaps. Connecting to the community resources, we are also about reaching all kids, not just the top 10 or the bottom 10. We want to raise the performance of all kids. So, and we also we embrace the concept of collective impact, and no one agency can do all the work. We need to succeed by a shared community effort, and that's again why you're all here today. This is the Thrive Success Pathway. A lot of us have worked hard to develop the pathway, and I don't know, do we have something that reflects that on the table? Yes, we do. Okay, so good. So you can all read it there. But some of the key areas certainly are we need to produce areas of growth. A successful pathway includes kindergarten readiness, which we've done a lot of work on, both school-specific skills and social and emotional skills, English and math proficiency, 3rd grade, social and emotional well-being at several age points, physical fitness, 7th grade, algebra proficiency, 9th grade, workforce readiness, and completion of required courses for the University of California, California State University System, and college completion within 6 years. So some of those are the waypoints that we're looking at to show how we're doing in the community. And I would like to introduce Maria Chesley Fisk, who is leading early childhood development, and she's the Carpinteria Children's Project. What are you? Director. Okay. And we have to switch microphones. If somebody wants to get a new PA system for this room, please.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Okay. So, you just saw the success pathway, and we want to update you on the progress we're seeing in some of the indicators from cradle through high school. So, we'll start with looking at the kindergarten student enrollment profile, which is one assessment that remains with us, despite the fact, as Paul was alluding to, the state system for testing students has been, is in transition, and we will be having new assessments associated with the Common Core curriculum starting very soon. So with the kindergarten student enrollment profile, all kindergartners are observed by their teacher within the first few weeks of school, and they're scored on 12 items that relate to social and emotional readiness and school-ready skills like knowing their shapes, knowing some letters. We've been able to follow 2 classes of kids, the class that started in the fall of 2009 and the one that started in the fall of 2010, and see how they did on the state tests in 2nd and 3rd grade. So that's when the tests were still being given. So what we see here, kids are judged on this kindergarten student entrance profile. They're evaluated by their teacher and are assigned one of 4 levels, depending on how ready they are for kindergarten. So immediate follow-up means we have some concerns that this child is not ready. All the way, then there's monthly monitor. I mean, we need to kind of check in with, make sure that that child is making progress every month. Ones that we're less worried about are quarterly monitor, and then the ones that were deemed ready to go, of course, will be monitored, but are sort of primed and ready. So what we see here is that if a child, the orange bands are the children who entered school ready. They scored at the top, ready to go. And we see how they scored on the state tests in 2nd grade and then in 3rd grade. So if you just look at the orange, what you see, this is English language arts. Students who were ready to go, almost all scored proficient or advanced on the 2nd grade and the 3rd grade test. Roughly 2/3 that were almost ready, that 3rd category, scored proficient or advanced. Now when we go to the immediate follow-up, the children who essentially were felt needed some assistance were not ready, still 14% of those in 2nd grade and 9% in 3rd grade scored proficient or ready to go on those assessments. So these are children that started not ready, and through their experience in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, they're looking ready now, scoring proficient or advanced. This speaks really highly about what's going on in our elementary schools. Let me show you math. So these are the scores in math. Did you see everything kind of jump a little bit? If we compare, if you start ready, the kids are still scoring very well, proficient or advanced in 2nd and 3rd grade. The real difference is at the lower end. The children who were not ready, in the blue columns, 29% in 2nd grade and 50% by 3rd grade are scoring proficient or advanced on the state test. So what this, again, speaks to is how well the elementary schools are working with those children, no matter how they come in, no matter the readiness level, to help them succeed in school. This is really impressive when you look at it compared to other districts. You see that Carpinteria is really doing a nice job. Not everybody's numbers look like that. So let's look at a snapshot that includes other indicators. So we just talked about, on the far end, the kindergarten children ready to go. In 2009, when this project was just getting started, 15% of our children scored ready to go. In 2014, this past fall, 38% scored ready to go. And if we look at that 3rd level, the almost ready, or the quarterly monitor, we went from 47% ready or almost ready to 79% ready or almost ready. So that tells us a lot's going on in our early childhood education programs, in our community, to help raise the readiness of the children in Carpinteria. The Kindergarten Readiness Action Team, which is a group of early childhood education directors and friends, which has been together nearly since the opening of the Carpinteria Children's Project, really deserves a tip of the hat for the improvements in the kindergarten enrollment scores. That network is a group of wonderful people, and every member, it's really impressive. They really put kids in the community above the competition that you might think you would see if you got a group of directors all working in the same community. They set that aside. We just set that aside to figure out how we can best move forward together. Here we see, I just talked about the Kindergarten Readiness Action Team. This list shows the range of action teams we aspire to have. This was the list of action teams, slightly modified, that was developed at the beginning of this project. 2 are underway, the Kindergarten Readiness, which I just talked about, and the Family and Neighborhood Health and Strengthening Readiness Team. Many of you are actually on that team, we just don't call it that. We call it the Thrive Carpinteria Partner Network, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But essentially that's what that network does, is work on family and neighborhood health and strengthening. We operate as an action team, collecting and analyzing data, responding with improvements based on what we find in that data, and working together collectively to impact the health of our families and our community as a whole. And lots is going on in the boxes that aren't checked. You know, leave no doubt about it. The schools are working hard on these, and we'll hear in a minute from Principal Jamie Pursoon about some examples. We aspire, though, to have community-informed, community-resourced, even community-led action teams that work on these other areas. We're seeing significant energy bubbling, particularly around college and career readiness. So let us know if that's something that you would be interested in learning more about. All right. Now on to the good stuff, right? The scavenger hunt answers. Okay. First, there are a few agencies who were not represented in the scavenger hunt for the interest of time. So a couple questions to start off with that to make sure we touch on everybody. What does WIB stand for? W-I-B. Workforce Investment Board. Yay, Portable 316. Which groups provide early childhood education? Here at this center, and then also at Canalino and Aliso Elementaries. There are 3. Sorry, what?
Children's Project.
Yes, the Carpinteria Children's Project through CUSD, Carpinteria Unified. Head Start through Community Action Commission. And SBCEO, Diane's in the back, yay! With the Maine Early Learning Years. Terrific. All right, let's start. And here come the prizes. How many counselors and counseling interns see clients at Calm?
7.
Can you believe this? It's amazing how they have brought, and Sarah Bazan, thank you very much. Sarah has done, and Calm, an amazing job with seeing the need and figuring out how to get the resources here. So, okay, who got it right? Who got 7? Okay, very good. Very good. All right. Next is Family Service Agency's office in the original building or a bungalow. And this was a trick question because in the answer sheet it was wrong. So who knows? It's in the original building. Clarissa, you're a winner. All right. I should have. Let's see. No. All right, let's see. Paul, can I get you to pass out just anybody who got the right answer? Perfect.
Who's the winner today?
How often does Medi-Cal see clients here?
On Tuesday. Yeah, once per week on Tuesdays.
Once per week on Tuesday afternoons. I think our winner is way back in the back. Paul, that's good. We'll have to. Okay. And which agency loans Medi-Cal space? CADA, the Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse. And that it just is a testament to the collaboration that we work with here. They're not in their space in the morning. They don't, they don't need their space during that particular time and are willing to share, which just means the world. That's how we make it work here. I think the next one is for this question. How many clients is Maine Family Resource Center's Family Liaison Carmen Luna currently case managing? 26. Somebody got it over there. What parenting class is she teaching now? Nurturing parent. Yes, a research-based, very intensive class. And one of the things that I feel is testament to how wonderful that class is that parents will take it over and over to get what they need, when they need it, as their children grow. Plus, she does a lot of fun art projects. How many volunteer health promoters or promotores from Carpinteria have been trained by the Santa Barbara County Coalition in support of Promotores de Salud? 16. And how? Can more volunteer? Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Promotores, please stand up. Yes. These women went through, and a man, we have a man now, so I have to remember that, went through 40 hours of intensive training and have just are so ready, whatever needs to be done, are willing to jump in and help out with that. And thank you to Angelica Ornelas, who's on staff with us, a family liaison who is our lead promotor. All right. 4 CARP programs in early childhood education were granted a year-long professional development program. We're really proud of this, as you can tell. What's it called?
Race to the Top.
It was Race to the Top money. That's correct. It's about social and emotional skills for young children. That's exactly right. CSEPL, the teaching pyramid. They're on break now, but how many mornings a week does Santa Barbara City College offer ESL classes here? 4. Yes. It's wonderful. How often does WIC see clients here? 2 times a month on Wednesdays. Very good. They're very busy. What big event is the Carpinteria Education Foundation, Patricia Alpert, working on? Ocean to Orchard, yes.
One over there.
All right. And when families request services or referrals to services outside of our network partnership, where are the requests sent? Where is our hub? Yes, it is a part of the CUSD effort here. The name of the hub is the Family Resource Center. I heard it back there. Thank you. We really understand that we would not be here. None of this would be happening without our major funders. Most of these funders have been with us for years and years and really understand the long-term nature of community change. They have stuck with us thick and thin, and really, we wouldn't be here without you. So thanks to all of our funders. We really appreciate those. Yeah. Makes the team. I also, at this time, wanted to point out, if you didn't pick one up on the way in, you can pick one up on the way out there at the table. This is the baseline report that's been produced by the county level, Thrive Santa Barbara County. And I wanted to give a shout out to Laura Camp and her team. Liz and Hannah are here. Not only is this report beautiful, but it holds the promise that we can look countywide and find similarities in concerns, solutions, and supports. By learning from each other and striving for similar goals, we accomplish more and more quickly. So thank you, Laura, for your undogged dedication to the countywide effort and your support of us in Carpinteria. And now I have the great pleasure of introducing two special people who I get to work with every day. Yasmin Martinez, our associate teacher, newly hired associate teacher. She's been with us before. With Carmen Luna, our family liaison, so you can hear their story. Okay. So let's start this on you.
I can just look. Good morning. I'm going to read it because it's the mid of the week and I don't function anymore in the middle of the week. So, sorry. Yeah. Okay, my name is Carmen Luna and I'm a family liaison here in Carpinteria Children's Project. Within my position, I teach the nurturing parenting class. On 2011, I met this amazing woman. She was participating in one of the classes, at that time was Avance. This amazing lady completed the 9-month program, and within the program, she received support with home visits and case management. That helped her to achieve her goals. This is the beauty of our program, that we continuously learn from our families, and also we have a chance to empower and support the families so they can succeed and meet their goals. So now this lady is working for Carpinteria Unified School District, and she has been promoted to an associate teacher, and she's amazing, and now she's going to tell you all about the story.
Good morning. I'm just going to read it too. My name is Yasmin Martinez. I was born in Mexico and I came to California at the age of 5, and I've been living here in Carpinteria ever since. I attended all the schools here at the district. I started working at the age of 15 when I was a freshman in high school. After graduating from high school, I went to Santa Barbara City College to study cosmetology. After completing the course, I had my first child, Alberto, who is now 9 years of age. 2 years later, my son Gabriel was born. During this time, I was able to work from home as a site manager at a mobile home park. I was very fortunate to raise my 2 sons from home. During this time, I met Carmen Luna, who invited me to attend one of the classes at CCPM called Avance. At the time, I was working from home, like I said, so I was very fortunate to be able to raise my kids at home. I learned a lot of new ideas on how to be a better parent, but most important of all, I was able to socialize with other adults and share with them about the challenges of raising children. After graduating from Avance, I received a call from Carmen Luna offering me to work at CCPM. I worked as an instructional assistant for 4 years. This gave me the chance to work with children from 3 months of age to 7 years old. During this time, I was also taking early child development classes. Just last year, my daughter Leslie was born. Although I was very happy, I was a bit sad thinking that I was not going to be able to bring her to work with me, since childcare, even here, is a bit expensive. For this reason, I was either going to stop working or take my daughter to a regular babysitter at a very young age. Later on, I was told that there was an opening for a higher position, so I applied for the position and I got the job. I was happy that I was going to be able to bring my daughter to daycare at least half day. The good news was that I was also offered to apply for a scholarship, and with this help, I was able to bring my daughter Leslie full-time to CCPM, and I am very grateful for that I've met Carmen Luna. I feel that this has changed my life and has been giving me the chance to provide a better future for my family, and I'm very glad to be part of such a great team here at CCPM. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin and Carmen. I didn't advance the slide, so here. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Jamie Pursoon, the principal of Canalino Elementary, who is going to share what that kindergarten student enrollment profile data can turn into.
Good morning.
Oh, good. She's got it all ready. Yes. So first, I want to thank everybody that supports the kindergarten readiness. We are seeing a significant difference in our kindergartners coming into the elementary schools over the last several years. But those graphs that Maria showed you earlier about the 2009 and the 2010 cohort, we kind of take the baton from CCPM and the Thrive movement in the elementary schools and continue to work on success for all kids. So that 9% and that 14% of the immediate follow-up kids, we want those numbers obviously to be much higher. And what can we do at the elementary level to help those students who were not ready or who were almost ready, quarterly monitor, monthly monitor, and immediate follow-up. So the kindergarten student entrance profile, Maria spoke to you a little bit about that. And up there on the slide, I have written out the different indicators that the kindergarten teachers mark. And they do that after 3 weeks of getting to know the kids. And the teachers are all pretty thoroughly trained by Maria and Matt Quirk, who authored the KSEP, and he comes down and trains them, and they have a collaboration meeting to make sure they're all on the same page about how they're scoring the students. So those are all the indicators of readiness for kindergarten. And then that becomes then my job to take that data and to make sure that we're serving the students and supporting the teachers and making sure those kids can be successful. And obviously we're going to focus quite a bit on the immediate follow-up students and going up from there. Luckily in this district we've had enormous support from the school board in supporting our students with intervention across the board. KSEP is my initial filter, so I get the KSEP results about a month into school, and I look at them across the board, and your eyes immediately go to the immediate follow-up students, and your teachers have probably already come to you about the immediate follow-up students, and then you look from there. We also use other assessments. Teachers do initial assessments at the beginning of the year, so I look at that in conjunction with the KSEP. And then we use something called the developmental test of English proficiency, and that's a one-on-one receptive and productive language test that's given to students who speak English as a second language. So that's how I initially used the KSEP to help me understand and help my team understand who we need to be addressing. So everybody, no matter what they scored on the KSEP, gets the Tier 1 general program, and that's highly qualified and trained kindergarten teachers delivering a systematic, coherent curriculum every day. So that's the goal for every child in every classroom, in every grade, in our whole system. In kindergarten at Canalino, we have allocated 2-hour instructional assistance, so the site budget funds that. Every single day so they can have daily small group instruction. And then we also have parent and community volunteers in all of our classes every day at kindergarten. It's amazing to me, actually, we have a lot of retired people and community volunteers that come in and volunteer on a weekly basis in our kindergarten classes to facilitate that. We also have technology-assisted learning, and I gave an example of some of the programs we use. And for example, Carpinteria Education Foundation has supported the iPads and the Chromebooks in the classroom. QAD has supported that as well, so we get a lot of outside private funding for that. And then having a school-wide positive culture and a well-publicized mission and strategic plan is also my job as the leader to continue to pursue and publicize that with the staff. So that's the general program for every child. We also have a view of the whole child at Canalino. We're very focused on the whole child, and I think that notion is something that also comes from our partnership with CCPM, who also addresses the whole child. We are fortunate the district has also supported a school-based counselor. The board has supported that as well. START counseling, which comes from CADA. Monthly student study team meetings to help with social, emotional, behavioral support. And in-class school-wide positive behavioral support, which happens at all the sites in the district, not just Canalino. Middle school, high school, Aliso, all the schools. So if a student is immediate follow-up or a quarterly monitor or monthly monitor, and if their other indicators indicate that they need help, we have a 4-hour daily certificated reading intervention teacher, and our site is paying for that in kindergarten and first grade. The students are seen for 20 minutes per session, 2 to 3 sessions a week in a separate space, so they're free of distractions. They're 5 or 6, so they need to be away from the other 5 or 6 for a short period of time on a frequent basis. And we focus on letter and sound recognition, beginning blending, and phonemic awareness. Those are those initial reading skills, pre-reading skills. So I wanted to show you this particular slide. If you look at my 4 kindergarten classes, I have a large class this year of 106 kindergartners and TK students, so it's a large group. I wanted to point your attention to Class D. So Class A had a 61% readiness, so 61% of those children were ready. Class B had a 50% readiness. Class C had a 30% readiness, and Class D, which is now at 80% recognition of letters, was 9% ready at the beginning of the year. The reason for that is Class D was a late registration kindergarten. So students who came past the registration date, so you tend to get a lot of students who either just moved to town or whose parents hadn't been in a preschool. So we had a very low readiness rate in that classroom. So what we did is, first of all, I have an incredibly outstanding teacher in that classroom who's really raising the bar on kindergarten instruction. And the second thing we did is we poured our resources into that class. 16 of the 20 kids are receiving intervention. And you can see the results of what's happening with that. Where the only 4 immediate follow-up students in the grade are in that class. There's a multitude of things going on in that class that are getting us to those kinds of numbers. So they are outperforming students who were ready because of the interventions that we're giving them. There's just some more data on identifying and producing rhymes, which is another measurement we use throughout the year to track their progress. But everyone is increasing their proficiency because of all the assistance we're giving. And then we look at numbers to 20. We're also doing a really exciting pilot program with Matt Quirk from UCSB. We have selected 12 students for a pilot intervention on early English language development. And we took those students based on their ADEPT score, the Developmental English Proficiency Test. They're getting 60 minutes a day, but after snack and reshuffling, I'm really going to call it more like 45 minutes. With a 5-year-old, you can't really go from an hour and a half of instruction to another hour. You have to kind of transition it and do a snack and get them to another room. And I have a certificated bilingual teacher, in addition to UCSB psychology student volunteers that drive down every day, delivering the Language for Learning curriculum in small groups. And one of my certificated teachers has assisted this certificated teacher in coming up with a really good program so that they're in groups of about 3 or 4 for that 45 minutes, 5 days a week. And at the end of the year, we're going to be looking at their post-assessment on that same English language development test and seeing if that increased their English language. And that will be the basis for a larger grant we're writing to increase the English language development intervention in the kindergarten and first grade levels for next school year. We also do, I know Sharon's here, we also have 16 students. We raised the number from 12 to 16 this year with Crystal's support of our kindergartners who were identified by using the KSEP as needing additional intervention. And Crystal's working really hard with them and her staff until 6 p.m. daily in the after-school program. It also actually makes them available to pull for support from our certificated people that work after school, so they can pull them at 3:30, 4, or 5, depending on when their schedule allows. So our goals at Catalina are to identify students and families in need of support within the first month of school, and our tool to do that is the KSEP. We provide the right support, which is a key thing, the right support to the right students and their families. And we take our cue from CCPM on including the families on those interventions. And we track the effectiveness of the intervention. That's my job, is to do a lot of data tracking. And I use a variety of measures to see if what we're doing is effective. And our goal is to close the gap of achievement between students in kindergarten. So we don't want to see that chart anymore be such an incline. We want everybody to have an equal opportunity to succeed no matter where they've come from or the opportunities they've been given. And we want to send students to first grade ready to be readers and mathematicians. So that is our goal. And I'd like to bring up Dave Derflinger. Thanks. Dave volunteers every week too.
Thanks, Jamie. It's a lot of fun reading to the young kids, I tell you. They make incredible progress. Good morning. I'm Dave Derflinger. I'm the city manager for the city of Carpinteria, as the slide shows. I want to thank the City Council, my bosses at the city, for recognizing the importance of this work and allowing me to participate on a monthly basis, on an ongoing basis with Thrive, and to come here this morning. I want to recognize Councilmember Fred Shaw, who's here today. How do I advance the slides? Over here, okay. Great, thanks. My bit today is to talk to you about the partner network and how we're advancing the network. As Maria mentioned, expanding the network into the community now, some things we're doing in that regard. Some things personally with the city that I see opportunities for in that regard. And then to talk about opportunities to put the network to work, which is what it's all about, really, where the rubber hits the road. So on your table, thanks to Chris Sobel and Maria, you have a nice trifold on the network, the partner network, hot off the presses. And as Maria mentioned, it really right now reflects the core of the work that's going on right here at the Maine Family Resource Center. So the service providers, the network you see there is the stuff that goes on here at this facility. But we know that Thrive is more than that. It's a community collaboration. It's aligning the resources to the community. And there's lots of resources that touch families and kids out there, right? The city does in many ways through recreation programs. You've got churches out there. You've got youth programs through the Boys and Girls Club and through Girls Inc. You've got other youth sports programs in the community. So lots and lots of opportunity in Carpinteria for this collaboration to expand. And so this is going to be a fluid document. It's going to be changing always as we add folks to it. So if you represent an organization here that's not on this network brochure, this partner brochure, and you wish to join the partnership, you have some ideas about how you can contribute and help align resources, please contact Maria at the Maine Family Resource Center, and we want to have a conversation with you. I'm going to be working at that at the city. I'm going to be talking about education with our staff. So the most important first step in the network is knowing what services are about. We deliver services at the city. I know some of my staff know what goes on here at Maine School, but not enough. And we want to educate our staff and all the people that deal with families and kids at Carpinteria City to know the services that are available. This, I think, is a great quote. This is a number of years old, and forgive me, I don't remember who stated it, but it came up in one of our prior meetings. Also, forgive me for not catching the typos. I actually made a note on my stuff about the typos 3 years ago, and then said, yes, that's still not corrected. But I think this is a great quote. The project's goal touches virtually every aspect of Carpinteria: business, faith-based organizations, schools, government, and individuals across the generations. Through this collaborative, a powerful dynamic system will be created that links services and builds a comprehensive pathway of care for families. Children are only as strong as the families in which they live, and families are only as strong as the communities in which they reside. Therefore, to truly affect the child, we must address the surrounding factors that influence a child's ability to thrive. So that captures nicely this community collaborative concept and the importance of expanding the network out into the community, because these are community problems that require community solutions. So part of where the rubber hits the road is there's going to be the need to make referrals. Internally here, this referral form has been developed, so it's going to be used and go through an iterative process here with the service providers at Maine School. But again, there's an opportunity, just like with the network in general, to broaden referrals out into the community. At City, if we have programs involving youth over at the community pool or during the summer at the beach, there's an opportunity for referral services there, to have staff that's aware of the services that are available here, be fluent, as we said at the outset, in Thrive, and be able to have access to referral and be educated about how to use that form. So we see ultimately that the network will be a problem solver, an opportunity to solve problems for the community. And so and through this notion of action teams, right? And so it may not be just the service group here that involves an action team. It may be groups, a faith-based group out in the community. It may be a youth sports group that get together to identify a problem and work towards implementing solutions. So here's an example. We've been looking at some of this great data thanks to Santa Barbara County Office of Education. Thrive got linked in with the National Student Clearinghouse and now is getting statistical information that we can use in the Thrive work. It's part of the data that is so important to this work. And so you see here, this shows how Carpinteria High School graduates are doing. Are they getting into high school education? Shows the number in 4-year, 2-year, and then the total. And this looks not bad. There's progress being made here, and as the second slide here is showing the total over a period of time. So that initial slide was right out of high school. This shows comparison now over the first year and the second year, and the number goes up, which you'd expect, and that's a good thing, from about 59% total to 70% total. And then here's the thing that we're looking at. So once we get into college, how long this compares, I'm sorry, to other districts. So like districts, this shows Carpinteria in the light green, and this is for all high schools in Carpinteria, not only Carpinteria High School, but Rincon and Foothill High Schools, all students graduating. And it shows that we're making progress. That's what we want to see, progress moving forward. More and more kids enrolled in college, junior college, or 4-year college. And then this shows what we want to focus on. After 6 years, how are we doing? Are the kids finishing? Now, the data that we have from right now is only for 2007, 2008. And so it's older data. We know, of course, as kids continue to graduate, we're going to get more up-to-date data. And we know for sure that we're doing better than this, that things are progressing in terms of the number of kids after 6 years that are coming away with an AA degree or a BA or whatever it might be. But this is an area we want to improve in. We want to see this number go up. We're in the 34% in 2007, 36% in 2008 in terms of coming away with degrees after 6 years. We want to see improvement for that. So this is an area where we can form an action team. We can work with groups. We can work with Santa Barbara City College and others we feel, who you're going to hear from next, about how to identify what's going on here and how we can move forward in making sure that a greater number of our students come away with degrees after 6 years. So with that said, I want to introduce our next speaker, Claudia Johnson and Melissa Moreno from Santa Barbara City College. Lori Gaskin, President and CEO of City College, is also here. Thank you, Lori, for coming this morning and for allowing Claudia and Melissa to speak to us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to introduce the dual enrollment program and our director of dual enrollment. My name is Melissa Moreno, and I'm the Dean of Educational Programs overseeing business and community areas and overseeing the dual enrollment program. I want to shout out to Jamie with Canalino Elementary. I think that, pretty soon, if you keep on that trajectory, you're going to need college-level courses for your kindergartners. So I want to thank you so much for inviting us to speak about our dual enrollment program and how we are doing with your students at Carp High. But generally speaking, 11% of our entire SBCC population is a dual enrollment student. We offer more than 200 sections every semester in over 30 departments and serve every single high school freshman in our K-12 districts with our Get Focused, Stay Focused program. As a new dean with a new dual enrollment team, we have overtaken one of the most robust dual enrollment programs in the state, thanks to the stellar work of our predecessors, Drs. Diane Hollum and Lauren Wintermeyer. Thank you, Diane.
Over the last 5 years, an average of 46% of students from Carp High are dual enrolled students. That's about 325 students every year. On average, 60% of Carp High grads transfer to SBCC within 2 years of graduation. And we'd love to work with you to develop more statistical results about what happens to them after they come to SBCC. All incoming freshmen are dual enrolled at Carp High, and I'm proud to report that Carpinteria High has been our model school and completely invested from the beginning. They've been committed to implementing the Get Focused, Stay Focused program the way it was intended to work, and we are seeing its benefits thanks to Gerardo Cornejo, our principal, and Eric Hansen and Amy Bryant, helping us to implement the Get Focused, Stay Focused program. And I'm going to turn it over to Claudia Johnson, our new dual enrollment director. Claudia brings to the college a wonderful perspective on dual enrollment and serves your students with incredible passion. As I've gotten to know Claudia over the past few months, I have come to understand her deeply ingrained sense of social justice and her drive to advocate for the success of future generations. She sort of puts me to shame because my daughter, who's turning 22 next month, went through the dual enrollment program, and my perspective is she got 18 units and saved me a semester of tuition. But Claudia's drive to advocate for the success of future generations is second to none. She firmly believes that access to education levels the playing field and gives everyone the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to society. She started at SBCC serving adult high school students who at some point in their lives either drop out or somehow fail to graduate. Her transition to dual enrollment was seamless and very synergistic. She sees our dual enrollment program as a way to help prevent so many students from entering adult high school. She believes dual enrollment not only promotes graduation, but achievement well beyond graduation to career success. Claudia's goal is to enable every high school student to enthusiastically declare, "I'm a college student." Please give Claudia a warm welcome.
Does anybody need a flyer? We've got some data, so I'll just put it here. Please ask for it if you need another copy. So, dual enrollment, like Melissa said, we are very fortunate, and you all should be very proud of Carpinteria High School. Truly a model school, especially when it comes to dual enrollment and the Get Focused, Stay Focused initiative. Erin is still training educational leaders throughout the state. So this is something that started at Santa Barbara City College through Diane Holmes. We have a co-founder here, and is now taking over the state. I'm in meetings every month with regional directors in career technical education and college and career success, and they are all following the model that you all started here with your students and Principal Cornejo and your fantastic teachers at Carpinteria High School. So congratulations and kudos for having such a wonderful system here at the high school level. Now, dual enrollment, like Melissa said, is really about access and exposure to college. I've worked with a lot of students who have succeeded and some who have not been as successful as we know they can be. And a key point for many of the success stories happened through dual enrollment. I share the story of a really good friend of mine who's now an academic counselor at Santa Barbara City College. And she was in continuation school as a high school student. She was pregnant was a pregnant teen, and she had no idea that she could even become a college student. But when she had the chance to take a dual enrollment class in the continuation school, she became, she was a success. She was successful in that first college class, and now 3 children later, she's an academic counselor at Santa Barbara City College and is serving the same students in our community. So that is one of the reasons why I'm really passionate about dual enrollment, and especially the Get Focused, Stay Focused initiative. In the high schools, you have what some consider tracks of students. You have your AP track, you have, in some of our high schools, the IB track. Dual enrollment is not tracked, especially when it comes to our freshman seminar program. Every 9th grader has the option to say, yes, I want to apply for college credit for this class. And they all undergo a rigorous, college level career and college readiness curriculum that results in the development of a 10-year online plan. So we're integrating all of the measures and all of the research that is coming out statewide about what it takes to be a successful person in society, a successful and skilled worker and thought leader as well. So we're very fortunate to have Get Focused, Stay Focused and such a wonderful curriculum in our area. It's going to benefit our communities immensely. A little bit about our dual enrollment program here at Carpinteria High School. If you turn to the back of the page, you'll notice our assessment. When we talk about college readiness, we measure it at the college through assessment, English and math assessment. Now, there are obviously a great many additional skills that are required to be successful in college, what we call soft skills, note-taking, goal-setting, time management, and all of these are an integral part of the Get Focused, Stay Focused curriculum. But in terms of quantifiable data, we have English and math assessment scores. English is split into reading and writing, and then you have your math. Now, you'll see that in 2013 to 2014 students that assessed at either the fall or spring terms. For a first-time Carpinteria High student, that means that they are now out of high school and entering entering Santa Barbara City College. 18% assessed at college level reading, 21% assessed at college level writing, and 38% assessed in college level math. All first-time students from anywhere in the country that assessed to enter Santa Barbara City College are the statistics in that middle bar, 23% reading, 23% writing, and 37% math. Dual enrollment Carpinteria High School students are 50% reading, 25% writing, and 55% math. So dual enrollment in the high school gives students the opportunity to assess early and to assess often. So they could be assessing every year. Assessment comes to the high schools. But we're also working with Carpinteria High School to improve that college readiness marker. And one of the initiatives is through mock assessment that's happening this May for students where juniors and other students as well. Yeah, so anyone who's interested and may benefit from it is brought to Santa Barbara City College, and our English faculty meet with every student on their writing. They meet every single student, they touch every single student and give that student the tips and the feedback they need to then do well on the real assessment. So it's a diagnostic, and it's something that we're very excited to have our English faculty supporting. We're also hoping to offer English 110 next fall in Carpinteria, and that's, have you had college level English there before? But not in a while. So this is, we're bringing back English 110, and this is an opportunity for the Carpinteria High students to start getting English credit and preparing, continuing their work towards college. Now, assessment's really important. I just came back from a statewide conference, and how students do when they come to college really determines whether they'll be able to meet that graduating within 6 years statistic that we just saw earlier from Dave. Assessing at college level in college makes it possible to graduate within 2 or 3 years, and we know that the longer it takes, the more likely it is that the student will not complete their goal of getting a certificate or transferring to a 4-year school. So it's very important that we look at that assessment, preparing for assessment and getting students those skills, and dual enrollment is partnering with our local high schools to do that. You'll see in the middle there kind of just a freshman seminar to 12th grade module continuum. That is our Get Focused, Stay Focused curriculum. That begins with a semester-long freshman seminar and includes modules that are carried out by teachers in different subject areas in 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. So this is the key to success here, this Get Focused, Stay Focused initiative. And the outcomes from it will blow you away. Just 80% success in these courses, 80 to 90% success in dual enrollment courses that are held at the high school, at Carpinteria High School. So students we set the bar, we set a high standard, we challenge them, and they all 80 to 90% of them rise to the challenge and successfully complete a rigorous college course. Right. And the last few statistics I wanted to point out are the number of awards that students at Carpinteria High School, or who mark down Carpinteria High School as their high school, are earning at Santa Barbara City College. So we have data from 2008 to 2014 represented here, and you have about 50 to 60 students that were at Carpinteria High School at some point in their educational career, earning certificates and awards of completion or transferring to four-year institutions at Santa Barbara City College. Please feel free to reach out. My contact information is on here, and we'd love to tell you more about dual enrollment. But congratulations for this wonderful initiative, and we're really, really happy to be partners and work on collaborating with the college and career readiness outcomes you're looking to achieve. Thank you so much.
I'd like to bring Gabe forward. He's a senior at Carpinteria High School, and he is our 2014 Junior Carpinterian of the Year. So he'd like to talk a little bit about his experience in high school. Hey, Gabe.
Good morning, everyone. So today I just kind of want to share my college experience and my road to college. And I really don't know where to start because Carpinteria High School has so much to offer, but I'll just start off with the dual enrollment programs because as of right now, I have a total of 25 hours in dual enrollment credit. And I mean, it's just amazing the courses that we are able to take. I have had such great experiences in these courses, and I do feel college ready because of these. And I feel like I can push myself farther because of these courses. And also, we offer so many AP courses that this year I'm actually taking 4 AP courses right now. But these courses, mainly because of the instructors, they help the students grow. And for me, I have learned so much due to my AP teachers. But at Carpinteria High School, we have many other programs to help. And one program that has mainly helped me is the AVID program, the Advanced Via Individual Determination program. And I have been a part of this program since 7th grade. And coming into high school, I kind of didn't know what to expect. I kind of knew, classes are going to get harder. I'm going to have a lot more tests. But coming into AVID, I came into a new family. And I remember my freshman year, I looked at my schedule, and my AVID teacher freshman year, Ms. Gede, happened to be my Spanish 1 teacher. So I was a little nervous seeing how one of my AVID teachers is going to see how I do in a regular class. And I know usually AVID teachers, they'll just see the grades and they'll talk to students, but to actually see how I interact, it actually turned out to be very beneficial for me. Because not only did I have a chance to work with my AVID teacher, who's someone who wants other students to prosper, but she pushed me in that class. And not only me, but she pushed my entire class. So, AVID, my first year, we had 2 teachers. And now we have 5 teachers for AVID. So that just goes to show how much AVID has prospered in the high school since I've been there these past 4 years. And how other teachers are looking at it and seeing how they want to be involved with it because it is such a great program. One thing that I really do love about AVID is that in your beginning years, freshman, sophomore year, you do some college projects. And sophomore year, we did a project, just look up a school, get some pictures, information, write it down, learn more about it. And I chose Baylor University, which some of you might know, it's my number 2 choice right now. And if it wasn't for that project, I don't think I would have been so intrigued with the school. So I'm very grateful because of that. Also, freshman year, we started the CSU Mentor Program. And so that's basically your application for the Cal State University programs. And so freshman year, we went and plugged in our grades. Sophomore year, we did the same. Junior year, we did the same. And senior year, basically, as soon as you plugged in your grades, your application was almost done. So we're starting applications our freshman year in high school, and they're already done. They're over 75% done by senior year. Another reason why I love Avid is that it keeps you on track. So when it comes to the SAT, ACT tests, some students are, I don't know when the deadline is. I forgot to sign up. But these Avid teachers, they stay on top of us. They help us. They come up to you, hey, have you signed up for the ACT yet? Oh, you haven't? Okay, let's talk to your counselor. Let's get a form. Let's get you signed up. You need to take this test. And they prepare us more mentally for the test, because they do kind of say, yeah, it's a hard test, but they understand that we can push ourselves. But they are people who look into us as individuals, not just a class, and they'll target specific people, and they'll help them rise to the occasion. Now, another program on campus is the EAOP program. And this program I got very familiar with this past year. We have an EAOP counselor on campus, and I just happened to spend my whole sixth period, fall semester, in that office, going over my applications, going over essays, finding scholarships. And this program itself is so beneficial and so helpful. They actually have SAT prep, so I know these past few weeks in the mornings I would announce that the juniors are going to go take SAT prep, which I should have taken advantage of. But these counselors, they really help you with the application. I mean, I wrote some essays and I figured they'd be okay, but as soon as I let them read it, I mean, they diagnosed it, and they really did show us what a college application essay should be like. And I still, every sixth period, I'm in that office with my counselor talking to her. Just to show some accomplishments for Avid, I looked yesterday, and already the senior Avid students have been accepted to 26 colleges and universities, which is a very big accomplishment, because these are students who, freshman year, they may not have looked at college as, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to go to a 4-year, maybe I'll go. And these are students who are getting 3, 4 acceptances, and they're the first in their family to go to college. And it's not only inspires me, but I hope it inspires the younger generations, because it shows that the students of Carpinteria do have the capability of going far and to achieve great things. One other thing about Avid is that the CSF program, the Carpinteria Scholarship Federation, or California Scholarship Federation, you apply every semester, and you have to make so many points on the application in order to be a part of it. And if you're in it for so many years, and the second semester of your senior year, that's when you get your gold tassel and your gold cord for graduation. Now, I know our Avid teachers, they really push our students to earn those, because that not only means you were outstanding in academics, but it shows that you were outstanding every single semester and you kept up with your grades. And if you have a D or an F, you automatically don't qualify. So when you have students who qualify for the CSF, Gold Cord, and Tassel, it shows that they were pushing themselves every single semester. At Carpinteria High School, I mean, for some of you that have gone there, it's way different than any high school I can think of, because the community there is that's one big family of its own. And I know the staff there, they want every single student to push themselves. I'll go to some teachers and I'll walk in and I see them helping others. And to see the students going to ask for help, I think that's a very big part of our school, because you have some students who need help, but they don't want to ask for it. But at Carpinteria, we have the relationship with our students to go up, not in the middle of class, but at the end of class or in between class, and say, you know what, I didn't get this problem. Can you explain it to me one more time? Or, you know what, I wrote this essay, I didn't get a good grade. What do you think I can do better on it? And I feel that Carpinteria as a community, we do look at the younger generations, and because of the staff and the programs that Carpinteria High School has to offer, I do believe that the younger generations are in great hands. Thank you.
Good luck to you, Gabriel, and I think you're on your way. I wish I had that sort of support 50-some years ago when I went to high school. But I think it's great. A few things just to wrap things up. How many feel like advocates for Thrive today? Yeah, please continue that involvement and that knowledge, and don't be afraid to talk to people about Thrive in the community, because it is, of course, a community-based program. What does it say here? Successful students, strong families, productive citizens, thriving community. I think those are great bylaws. We have a few things to wrap up. I'd like to give a shout out to Larry Nimmer, who is taped it all. Do I have a chance? Do I have a chance to go through and edit before you send this stuff out? Yeah. Okay. I'll put a suit on then. So thanks again. I think it's going to be on local television. I don't know when, but it will be, so stay tuned. What channel is that?
Channel 21.
10 and 21?
21.
21. Okay. Channel 21. Also, you have forms on your desk that give you the opportunity to volunteer in some way. That's a great opportunity to get involved in some way other than being an advocate. And last year we had Diane Thackerley, she in the very back, who filled out the form and became involved in the monthly food bank distribution and in this place, yeah. And so she's working with the kids and having a fun time, and we really appreciate your involvement. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. There seems to be a lot of energy around the end of the pathway, the college preparedness and college enrollment and completion. And certainly if you want to get involved in that aspect and become a part of that committee, there are openings, and we are trying to push that a little bit as our next area of focus. We've done a lot of work in early childhood and in some of the community and family-based issues, but we'd like to take a stab at being much more involved in the high school and career readiness aspects. So if you're interested, fill out your form, write it down. Who do we give it to? Somebody at the... Okay, leave it at the table. And we do have a number of other forms and pamphlets from the community college as well. And please do take them and make them a part of your Thrive notebook. All right? You do have a Thrive notebook, don't you? All right, I know we're just a little bit over. We promised to get you out at 10, but we certainly needed to talk to our high school graduate and junior Carpinteria of the Year, and he gave a great presentation, and I know he's going to do well in the future. And so without further ado, let's see, before I excuse you, now if anybody was really interested in the Hokey Pokey and feels that they should have had a few more verses, I'll stay late, and we can do 5 additional verses of Hokey Pokey if you want to. Put your whole self in, put your whole self in. So, anyway, thank you for coming, and you are excused.